Have you ever seen two white guys dance the way these two guys dance? By the way, welcome to the Sports Porch. On Monday night, we have just discovered that butter changes everything.
It does.
Butter changes everything.
It's the theme for tonight.
I knew that for a long time.
Thanks for being here, everybody. We're so happy you're here, and we're so happy to be on American Busker iHeartRadio. 150 million registered users, 2,000 devices.
Donnie. We already have some.
150 platforms. What's going on? Do we got a comment coming in here?
Donnie's already picking the Steelers
Donnie,
to be
first in the AFC. Why don't you just
relax? Donnie Morris.
Why don't you just relax?
Hey, Donnie, if there was an AFC North, I think they would be in first place.
Sounds like Donnie's down at Donzi's.
And I want everybody to see down here below us in the ticker, theporcheslive.com, theporcheslive.com. And listen, man, football season is here. So
It's here, baby.
It's here.
It starts this week.
We don't have to hear you say dead zone one more time.
That's right.
God.
You just said it for the last time. Thank you, Schwaber.
I'm sure you'll say it again.
I am Chris. That guy over there is Steve. That guy down there is Mark. We are on the same porch, believe it or not.
We're fortunate.
And we are here to entertain you and more so entertain ourselves. And this week, we're going to start off with, first of all, let's just go to the Pitt game because we talked about this.
Let's get it in.
We're going to pay homage.
Real quick.
Hail to Pitt. It was awesome to see the backyard brawl. It was awesome to see 70,000 people at Heinz Field, or the field formerly known as Heinz.
The
Mark
Act.
likes to call it the Act.
And it wasn't 70,000. It was only 69,983. They were exactly 17 people short.
Ooh.
Okay, and I'm sure that's a fact. So what I want to know is, and Steve, early on in the game, we're going to make this brief because we get a lot of Steelers and NFL
David,
stuff.
welcome.
DG says hello. What's up, DG, in the house? Neil, what does he say? Neil Brown gave it away on 4th and inches.
Oh, he must be a West Virginia.
There you go.
We got a West Virginia fan.
He did.
We got a West Virginia
He did.
fan.
Listen,
it was game over if they get that.
I'm going to give you my take real quick.
I know that.
My
is
take.
such bullshit.
Slovis performed well. He's no Kenny Pickett. I don't think anybody thought he was going to be. But if you remember, Kenny Pickett started his career pretty slow.
I knew it.
I think Slovis looked pretty good. What about you guys?
No, I thought he looked terrible in the first half.
I knew he was
all
going
of
to
his
say that.
incompletions were on that deep ball. If he hits 2 or 3 of those deep balls, they're winning like 28-7 at halftime.
Yeah.
So I think he needs some work. But
A lot of pressure on that
kid. You
kid.
did make me see the light a little bit, Chris. I have to say, there was a lot of pressure on the kid. He's still a kid. He's still learning the system. So maybe I was a little critical of him. Actually, I was down at the game for some tailgating ahead of time. I was not part of the 69,983, though. I did not stay for the game. But I can tell you, there were a lot of WVU fans down there. It was actually – this is what is good about college football. I'm not a huge college football guy, but when you have these local rivalries and they're together and they're, what, not even 60 miles apart? Yeah, I mean, it's what's good about college sports for sure. And I love it. I thought it was fun being down there. But no, I think Pitt deserved to win the game. I didn't see the second half because I had to get up early in the morning. But watching the highlights, they deserved to win, I think. What do you think, Mark?
Well, it was one of those things. I mean, good for Pitt. You know, they won the game.
They didn't Pitt.
But
they didn't Pitt. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, in watching the game, my thought was it was one of those where West Virginia more lost it than Pitt winning it. It just had that feel. I mean, it seemed like, you know, there was a 4th and 1 with like 5 minutes left at the 50-yard line.
6 minutes and 40 seconds.
And like, you know, West Virginia's got this guy that could not be stopped at all. And they just decided to punt.
Freshman.
Yeah, they decided to punt it away. It was just a very like soft move. And then of course, like, you know, so give credit Pitt credit. They come down, they score, but then like, oh my God, I mean, like the interception right through his hands. I mean, it was like a gift. It was a gift.
Yeah, and that guy was making a lot of catches.
He's like the best player.
Which
is bizarre.
Well,
so
that's the game. That's the game.
But
and I think the more important thing is it was great. It was great to see it.
And I do think it's a lie that they said that it was the largest crowd ever at the Yak, because that's garbage. I mean, are you telling me that what they do, like let 2 more people in than went to a Steelers playoff game? I mean, come on.
I don't know.
Dude, they added seats. This is what people forget. That whole end zone, remember that whole end zone was empty. They didn't have seats in the end zone for what? The first 10 years,
right?
And then they added seats in the back, so now there more people can be in the stadium. Well, they haven't hosted a playoff game. Actually, Trib Live did a really good thing about Pittsburgh sports in the top 5. Actually, the one previous to the Pitt PSU game in 2016, which had about the same. There was a Pitt Fordham game at Pitt Stadium in 1938 that actually held the record. Which is amazing.
See, I refuse to believe all of this.
Actually, I refuse to believe we're even talking about it, and he took notes on it. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I mean,
listen,
in Western Pennsylvania, football is king, but who knew that right now college football draws more than the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, at least for that game. Mike Lawrence also says, "How did they get 70,000 plus?" I think we answered that.
That's how.
CD says WVU should have run that freshman more. Couldn't agree with you more, CD. Donaldson, absolutely, Donnie Morris. And CD's glad Pitt won. So that being said,
and by the way, one more thing though.
Go for it.
The Pitt coach is ridiculously full of himself.
I know.
You think so?
That whole thing with ESPN after the game. I mean, it's like settle down, buddy. Like, you did get blown out in your bowl game last year. I mean, come on now.
But Pickett didn't play. Did Pickett play?
No, he didn't play.
Yeah, Pickett didn't play.
But still.
All right.
Neither did Western or Michigan's running back.
Right.
Walker, who's a star. Going to be a star.
Look, that's enough about Pitt football for now, because as we know, it's always an up and down thing with them, and who the hell knows what's going to happen later on.
That's right. He's the guy, Donnie.
Yeah,
he's going to be a good. You need to play him more down there at WVU.
So moving on to the topic of the day. Of course, by now everybody's heard that the Steelers have officially named Trubisky the starting quarterback. But what the kerfuffle is about is that Mason Rudolph was listed as number 2 on the depth chart.
Who said it?
You did, but you know what? I honestly, I'm listening to sports radio and all that. What comes to mind for me is, who cares?
Yeah.
Although you know what that does mean, though. It does mean one thing, and that means that Mason Rudolph is going to dress as the backup.
Yep.
Because there's no way Kenny Pickett is listed as number 3 is dressing. So, Pitt fans, Pitt fans, Kenny Pickett fans, relax because, if Trubisky gets hurt, in the middle of the game, you're not going to see Kenny Pickett coming in the game. It's going to be Mason Rudolph. Now, maybe if it's for a long stretch, they go to Kenny Pickett.
It's actually a really good move by the Steelers, because now you can't say put in Kenny. Because you can't put him in.
Right.
It really makes a lot of sense.
It does make sense.
And that's what I said from the beginning, and you guys refuse to listen to me. Maybe next week.
Yeah. Well, we make it a habit of refusing to listen to you.
No, I listened. I didn't believe that he was going anywhere.
Look, what's going to happen is if Trubisky gets hurt, Rudolph's going to finish the game, and then Pickett will dress, and he'll probably start the very next game. We all know what's going to happen.
I think we as in the collective media and fan base in any professional sports franchise, sometimes make too much of the little things. And everybody knows I'm a Pickett groupie, but this doesn't surprise me. And honestly, who cares? All right. If Trubisky is in and he wins, that's all anybody really cares about, right?
Correct.
Yes, I agree.
All right. So let's move on to.
Let's break down the Steelers' schedule.
Predictions.
Wins, losses.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do here is we are going to predict the Steelers season. And in doing that, I am actually going to bring up the Steelers schedule, because we're
3-0 going into the regular season.
The most incredible technical
they
director
carry over, right?
of all time. I'm going to put myself down here on the bottom, because I know that Schwaber doesn't like to
You want to just stop talking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll-
let's
yeah,
just
we'll
start
get- yeah,
predicting.
yeah.
Stop.
Sorry, I'm having
Okay.
I'm having technical issues already, guys.
All right, let's take a look at week 1.
Yeah. Week 1,
Who-
obviously.
Who you got winning? Who you got losing?
At Cincinnati, loss. Simple.
For me, loss. Steelers are 0-1. You.
I'm going to say loss 0-1.
Okay.
It's really that simple. I mean, Cincinnati's ready to go. I think they're going to have a hangover, but I don't think it's going to be starting against the Steelers.
If I would have seen something better in the preseason from the line, I might have picked the Steelers in this one, but I just didn't see that.
I have to agree.
Now, Donnie Morris says we have a tremendous backfield on offense. The line gets too much hate right now.
Donnie's talking about WVU. We're done talking about
yeah,
WVU.
you're right. Never
Sorry,
mind.
Donnie.
CD says a loss. Okay, so week 2.
Patriots, Steelers.
Patriots, Steelers,
Steve.
win.
Loss 0-2.
Yeah, I'm saying a loss for that one too.
No, you're wrong. Here's why they're going to beat the Patriots.
Okay.
I think their home field advantage, the crowd's going to be into it, and I think they're just not going to get embarrassed at home. I just don't see it happening.
Okay.
And Donnie says he was
And
talking about
Mac
this.
Jones looked like crap in the preseason too. They don't really have a running game. So what are they going to do? Beat us defensively?
I don't know, but
think so.
Donnie was
Not at all.
Donnie was talking about the Steelers. So
Oh, okay. Sorry, Donnie.
so I just thought I'd bring that up for you.
Okay.
All right, so we got what do you have? A victory? A
Oh
win?
yeah, they're beating
Okay.
the Patriots.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Steelers versus Browns.
So here's the thing about this
It's a
one.
night game.
It's a night game. And it's a short window. So they play Sunday, and then they got to play Thursday. Loss.
I got a loss.
I got a loss. I got the Steelers at 0-3.
0-3.
Me
You guys,
too.
yeah,
Me
yeah.
too.
That's even
Oh,
brutal
me
on by
too.
my standards.
Well, you've got an offensive line. Okay, next one. Jets.
They will not go 0-3. I promise you, Steeler fans.
You might be interested by the way this all ends up for me.
Steeler fans, they are not going to go 0-3. These guys have
All right.
no idea.
So you got a victory on that one?
No, they're going to lose to the Browns.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jets versus Steelers.
Well, of course, we're all going to say win because the Jets are horrible, terrible.
Steelers get on the board 1-3.
I say that's a loss.
I think I think we're looking at an 0-17 team.
No. Is that 4?
I think-
Yeah, they're going 0-4.
Dude, if
Yeah.
they start 0-4, Kenny Pickett will be starting the 5th game.
Like I said, I'm a Pickett groupie. Okay,
That's
next
what's
week.
going
well,
on. That's
If they
Steelers-
start 0-4, I'd be concerned because next week is Steelers at Bills.
Yep. That's a
Steelers
loss.
at Bills. Come on, it's like playing at Cincinnati. And they beat them last year, so it's almost like the Bills have to go out of their way not just to beat us, but to literally embarrass us.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
they will.
So
I
you got a
think so,
loss.
too.
You got
I'm
a
at,
loss.
I'm at 1-4.
I got a loss. I'm at 0-5.
Guys, they're not that bad. I know they're bad. but
All
they're not
righty.
that bad.
All righty.
All right, we have Buccaneers versus Steelers.
Which,
Doesn't-
by the way, we will be at that game in a luxury box broadcasting the sports.
doesn't get any easier, does it, guys?
So
Tom
here's
Brady and the
thing.
Bucs.
Here, I think this is one of those games that's like something the Steelers are going to have to win if they want to have any chance at a winning record. Because I know it's Tom Brady, but I mean, nobody knows if Godwin's still going to be playing. You know, he took the knee brace off today. They don't really have all their weapons. Their offensive line has been decimated. They lost their starting center and they lost their right tackle. So Brady's not going to be in, being able to go back and just sit around and wait for somebody to be open and throw it. He's going to have to play the Ben Roethlisberger game this year, which is drop back, throw it in less than 2 seconds again. I think this game is going to be a really interesting game. I am picking the Steelers to lose this game, but I think this is one of those games where it could go either way.
All that for a loss.
I think Tom Terrific gets it done, and they're 1-5.
I take the Steelers to win that one.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the board. They're 1-5.
Okay.
I think they can. I think that's a game that they can definitely win.
Next,
Okay.
Steelers at the Dolphins.
So
This
they
is a
go-
Sunday night game.
So they
right?
go to the fish.
At Miami, it's a win.
I think it's a win. The Steelers, the Dolphins take them for granted at 1-5. The Steelers surprise them. They're 2-5.
All
They
right.
get to Tua.
Next game, Steelers at the Eagles. This is an easy one.
Oh, yeah, it's an easy one. They're going to lose. The Eagles are going to be pretty good this year, so I have them losing.
I think they're going to lose.
I think they could beat the Eagles at home, but I don't think they
Yeah,
can
the
beat
main
them
reason the
on
Steelers don't win in Philly very often. I think
Sure.
the last time they took a pretty bad loss in Philly.
Which is why I'm
So-
picking them to win this game.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay.
So wait, so this is the halfway mark. So what do you got? I got the Steelers at 3-5 going into the bye week. What do you have?
It's more. Oh, I got them at 2-6.
And I've got them at 3-5. See,
So,
I started out 0-5, and I'm at 3-5.
so here's my prediction. If the Steelers go 2-6 in the first 8 games, Kenny Pickett starts game 9. That's my prediction.
He very well may.
Because at that point, you might as well, because their season's over. If they're 2-6, they're done. So they might as well just begin the future right now.
And for those of you leaving comments, we'll go back after we do our records, and we'll go through your comments and answer your questions. We're getting a lot of comments coming in here. Okay. We moving on to the next game after the bye week. Saints at the Steelers.
Saints at the Steelers. Come on, they're gonna beat the Saints. There's no way that Winston's going to be able to do anything against them. There's just no way.
I agree. The Steelers win this one. They're crawling back at 3-6. You can't say no to the playoffs just yet.
I give them a win on this one too, just
Yeah.
because they have to win.
Yeah.
And I feel so. Yeah. All right. Follow that up with another Sunday night game. Bengals are in town. The rematch. Do they put a whooping on the Bengals?
So this is another one of those games. Like I was saying, against against who did I say it was against Tampa Bay? I think this is another one of those games where the Steelers have to win this game if they want to do something special, and they're not going to win it. I just don't see them. I just don't see them beating.
I agree. They just came off a couple wins, and there's hope. And they realize that Mitch Trubisky is not the answer. They go down. They're 3-7, and next week against the Colts,
I actually think the reason they lose
Kenny
this
Pickett
game
comes in.
I actually think they lose this
Very
game
dramatic,
because
Schwaber.
Kenny Pickett will be starting by then.
Yeah.
And Pickett's not going to beat Cincinnati.
Okay. All right.
I
Well,
think if Trubisky's plays this game, I think they got a chance to win.
I have them beating the Bengals because it's a rivalry game and they lost the first one. So I have them at 5-5, guys, believe it or not. Next game, Schwaber, you want to announce these games so bad, I'm going to let you go.
Steelers versus Colts. Kenny Pickett makes his debut.
At the Colts, no. He
makes his debut.
He will
Tomlin's not afraid of anybody.
He's not going to make his
But it's a
debut against the
dismal
Colts.
performance, and everybody is reeling. The Steelers are now 3-8.
Once again, if Pickett's playing by this time, there's no way he's going to go into Indianapolis. And by this time, the defensive line's probably decimated. They're not going to be able to stop Jonathan Taylor. And, you still got Matt Ryan slinging the ball there. Advantage Colts. I think we picked the Colts to make the playoffs too. So I think they're a really good team.
I think he picked them to win the Super Bowl.
He did.
I did?
He's their Super Bowl winner.
Yeah,
Well,
I've got the Steelers losing to the Colts. They're now 5-6.
Okay. Now we've got the Steelers. Maybe getting a little breath of fresh air, playing the Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons are awesome. They're going to easily beat the Falcons, guaranteed.
Kenny Pickett gets his first win under center. They're now 4-8, and people are talking about the next Ben Roethlisberger.
The Steelers are horrible in trap games.
No.
They're horrible in trap games against horrible teams. They always play down to their competition. They lose this game to the Falcons. They're now 5-7.
Okay.
Next game, Schwaber.
Ravens versus Steelers at home.
Why is it that we always play Baltimore at the end of the season every year? Can't the NFL schedule makers allow us to play Baltimore like in the first 4 or 5 games?
Because they
It makes
figure
no
it's going to be a
sense.
close record and blah,
I know,
blah,
but
blah.
they can make one earlier
I'm making
in the
that up.
season,
I don't know.
one in the later seasons. I don't understand this playing Baltimore. Like we play them twice in 4 weeks. That's just the dumbest thing I think that the NFL
It
schedule
is
does.
dumb, but who wins the game?
Yeah.
I don't really believe that. So I don't know. I got Baltimore. I got them once again this is another one of those games where it's going to come down to a field goal at the end, and I like Tucker when it comes down to a field goal.
Schwaber?
It's going to be really close.
The legend of Kenny Pickett begins to take on steam. The Steelers in a big upset. They're now 5-8, and fans are saying the playoffs are not out of reach.
I have the Steelers winning this game, and they are now 6-7. All right, next game, Schwaber.
Steelers get the Panthers at the AC.
No, they play at Carolina.
They play at Carolina. Sorry.
They're playing at Carolina.
So much for the AC.
I love the AC.
Not
I know you
at
do.
the AC, at the
It's
Carolina.
the field formerly known as Heinz.
I think they could beat Carolina. I think they're going to be a better team, but I don't think Carolina's going to be that great. By this time, Baker Mayfield is back to Baker Mayfield being the turnover machine that he is. I think the Steelers win this game.
Carolina stinks. Steelers win. They're 6-8, and they've won 3 in a row, and the town is abuzz.
I don't think the Steelers can handle Christian McCaffrey if he's still in that game. And Baker Mayfield has something to prove.
He'll be long injured by then.
I'm giving them a loss. They're now 6-8. Next game, Schwaber.
Next game, Raiders, Steelers. Often a very tricky opponent for this club.
Yeah, Christmas Eve game, too. This is a really tough one to pick. I like the Raiders this year, and I think they get their revenge in the this will be the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception.
Yes, it will.
So I'm going with the Raiders' revenge, Immaculate Reception 50-year anniversary.
In the first quarter, Devontae Adams pulls a hammy. He's out of the game, and the Steelers win 4 in a row, and the fans are saying playoffs.
I have the Steelers winning this game, and they are now 7-8. I can't match the energy.
And I
over
now
here.
have the Steelers at 7-8. We've gone from 3-8 to 7-8.
You got it. Next game, Steelers at Ravens, New Year's Day.
New Year's Day.
And this
Same old Steelers loss.
This is when Cinderella comes to its end. The Ravens, that Lamar Jackson, he's hard to tackle. It's 3rd and 5, and it's a 50-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, you're getting really specific
And
with these games.
it's now
Write it down.
Yeah.
And they're
We'll
now
just play the tape.
and
Maybe
they're
he's
now
part of the
7
Matrix.
They're now 7-9, and they need about 8 things to happen in the last week to make the playoffs. Unlikely. Very
7-9.
unlikely.
Yeah.
Very unlikely.
Well, they get to play against Browns in the last game. Does that help?
Yeah.
It
And
helps
I
me.
have them losing to the Ravens, by the way. I have them at
Okay.
7-9
Yeah.
as well. So Browns, last game.
Browns lose to the Steelers. Kenny Pickett shows why he's the future of this club. They finish 8-9. They win 5 out of their last 6 games, and they're feeling good about going into next year.
Which is awful. They will beat the Browns. They
It's
will
awful.
beat the Browns. I have them going 7-10. They beat the Browns, but they go 7-10 on the year.
Homer's got them at 7-10, and we've got them at 8-9.
I got them at 8-9.
I'll tell you what, guys.
It's only 1 game difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
It really is.
And like I said, the games where I think they could make it up is they could definitely make it up when they play Cincinnati at home, when they play Baltimore at home, when they play the Raiders at home, and I think they're going to win the Browns. And you guys don't have them beating the Patriots, but I think that's another one of those games. So in those games, I have them going 2-3. But if they win all those games, they could be 10-7. I just don't see them winning those close games, especially if they sour. And I've got them going 3-5 and going into the bye week. That leaves that question of Kenny Pickett, and this is the problem with drafting Kenny Pickett number 1. He's always going to be there in the background. If they start off like you guys say, 0-4, oh my God, this town's going to go ape shit for Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, of course. They already have.
And it
in a way.
and it won't matter what Trubisky does. I'll be on that bandwagon if Trubisky throws 8 interceptions and he has 2 touchdowns. I'll be right there with you guys. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think everybody thinks that our defense is going to be better than they are. And I think this is where I may disagree with some of you Steeler fans out there. If I do, please leave a comment. But I just don't think their defense is going to be good enough to win the close games.
Yeah.
And the only way they're going to do it is if they get turnovers. And you don't ever know when that's going to happen.
All
I
right.
agree. The other thing that I think is it's sort of like this is kind of a season that, in a way, it's almost like it's a no-win situation, because the best case scenario, if we're just flat out talking about winning, I could see them going on a 10-7 record and maybe making the playoffs, but that's only going to be if Mitch Trubisky starts every game.
Right.
And then the downside of that is now Kenny Pickett hasn't done anything yet. And so when he eventually takes it, it's like you've basically pushed back his progress a year.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm going to get these comments in. We got a whole bunch of them. Donnie Morris says, this is awesome, dudes. Great live stream. Of course, we knew that already, but thank you.
Glad to have you on board.
He also says, we lost to an awful Jets team with Bell a few years ago. That's what I'm talking about. Yo Carey says, Boswell getting engaged is bad news. He will pull his groin and miss his kicks. Bad.
Well, hopefully you won't have to pull his groin anymore, Carey.
Richard, who I believe is in Mechanicsburg, says, so at what point do they make Pickett the starter? We've kind of addressed that.
We all said mid-season.
Richard, do you think it's going to be mid-season, especially if they start off 0-4? It could be sooner.
Yeah.
They're not going to start off 0-4, by the way. These guys are on crack tonight.
Donnie says, this is amazing, you guys. I have to disagree with the loss column. Yo Carey in the house says, man, you guys are super negative. We will win the North. Donnie's back to saying Mark Madden says we'll make the playoffs, so it must be true.
Well, Madden's a good predictor of things. Hey, if he says we're going to – by the way, I doubt he said we're going to make the playoffs.
No.
Yeah, I don't – I mean, I don't listen to him a whole lot. Tim Pomato from Palmetto has him at 9-8.
See, Tim's thinking that we could beat Baltimore at home and or the Raiders at home and maybe even Cincinnati at home. And that's the difference between him and me.
And Donnie disagrees 100% with us.
On all
weakest
of this,
link is the O-line. Well, we do agree that the weakest link on this team is the O-line. Absolutely. Bush has to relearn to tackle to stop the run. That's what CD says. And DG chiming in here, by hook or by crook, I see the Steelers maintaining Tomlin's winning record with a 9-8 season.
Well, David, I'm putting an asterisk by mine. I'm going to take the 3 wins in the preseason and say they went 10-10. So
there you go. Hey, yeah, there's always a silver lining in
there.
Steve's
You go.
Cloud. All right. So there you have it. I've got him at 8-9. Schwaber's got him at 8-9. Steve has him 7-10, right?
7-10. 7-10.
Yo, Kerry thinks mobile QBs will pull more wins. So moving on.
Every week we are going to make 3 specialty picks. Your Thursday night game, your Sunday night game, and a game that we determine to be the game of the week, other than the Steelers.
Yes. And we'll probably try to predict the Steelers, because that could change.
Yeah. The Steelers we're predicting. Yeah. We just predicted the Steelers.
So roll out the first game.
All right. So the first game this week, of course, is the first game of the year. Bills at the Rams, Thursday night. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't super excited about this. So let's start with you, Schwaber. What's your pick? And we're going to keep track of this throughout the season.
I always find that the team that wins the Super Bowl often wins that first game at home. So I am going to go with the Rams over the Bills. Doesn't mean the Bills are going to have a bad season by any stretch, but I just think they'll win that game.
Mark takes the Rams.
I like the Bills in this game, and I think the Rams are off to a not so good start, with Stafford's shoulder being injured. I think there's some doubts there. They don't have
a bug on my screen.
They don't have Beckham back yet. He's probably going to be back for him, but I mean they do have Allen Robinson. I'm hoping for Allen Robinson to catch 7 balls for 125 yards and 3 touchdowns.
I wonder why.
I still think they're going to lose.
I'm going with the Bills. I'll make it simple. So Chris takes the Bills. Mark takes the Rams. Steve takes the Bills. The next game, Sunday night. The Buccaneers at the Cowboys. Steve, what do you think?
Well, I like the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are a better team than everybody's giving them credit for. I know, the trendy team are the Philadelphia Eagles because they did make some good moves. I'm not going to lie. I think they made some good moves in the offseason. But I think Dak is for real. I like Zeke and Pollard in the backfield. I think CeeDee Lamb's going to be a superstar in the league this year. You guys watch that. All they got to do is be able to put together a half-decent defensive game. And the Bucs, I think, right now are reeling. I mean, when does Brady miss practice? And he's missed a lot. And they're just missing a lot of pieces right now. I like the Cowboys.
I think Brady can roll out of bed and beat the Cowgirls. I'm going Buccaneers.
Donnie says Cowboys. Brady lost his weapons. I'm going to go with the Mark's going with the Bucks. I'm going with the Cowboys at home because they have to make a statement, and I do think that what's so funny? What did I
I'm
miss?
laughing at Yo Carey.
Oh, Yo Carey. What's Yo saying? Good luck.
I
Good
don't
luck,
think he likes
Prescott. Break a leg. Yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys only
he did that
because
a couple years ago, Yo Carey.
they have to make a statement, and I do believe that there is a little bit of controversy going on in Brady's life and the team, and it's a new coach. So
I wonder how much of a statement Jason Peters at 40 will make protecting Dak's blind side.
Yeah, I don't know.
He is only on the practice squad. He's not even going to play in this game.
All right,
Relax.
next game. This is a game the three of us chose.
By the way, he'd be a starter for the Steelers.
4:25 Eastern time. The Raiders at the Chargers. Now, how long has it been since we would think that would be a great game?
Yeah, that's
been a
true.
long time.
It was a phenomenal game last year.
Yeah, exactly. But
It was
before
like the
that,
best game of
It's
the year.
the game that
Yeah.
put the Steelers in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
yeah, that's exactly
It was
right.
honestly, it may have been the best game I've ever seen.
There you go.
I'm totally
Since
serious.
last year.
Including Super Bowl victories for my own team.
That's complete crap.
That is,
Come on.
That is
Come
an
on.
absolute
Seriously,
lie.
that's an Eagles fan for you right there. All right, Raiders at Chargers. Schwaber.
Chargers coming out of the gates strong. They always have a late season collapse.
Yeah, I like the Chargers. I like the Chargers a lot. I think they're going to win that division, and if they're going to win that division, they have to beat the Raiders at home. Chargers.
Did you say Chargers?
I did.
Okay, I had you on the wrong side.
We already know he likes Herbert, so he's going to take the Chargers.
Yeah, but
That's
I'm
a
not.
sweep here.
I'm not because we're keeping track, and I got to, I'm taking the Raiders and Derek Carr in that one. I think Derek Carr comes out slinging it to his buddy.
That's why they're going to lose,
Boom.
because he's going to throw 3 interceptions.
Boom. Raiders, you can count on it. All right, those are our picks. I'll review them real quick. Bills at the Rams. Steve and Chris take the Bills. Mark takes the Rams. Bucks at the Cowboys. Mark takes the Bucks. Steve and Chris take the Cowboys. Raiders at the Chargers. Mark and Steve take the Chargers. Chris takes the Raiders. So we'll see
Looks
next
like
week.
I'm the only 3-0 team, boys.
We'll see next week. Yes, incredible. You're incredible.
Thank you.
All
for
right.
recognizing
You're welcome.
my
Okay.
space up here.
Now we're going to move on to something that we really enjoy on this show because we scour the internet highway for something we call headlines that mean something because most headlines mean nothing. And we're going to just start off with Mark's headline. I'm going to put that up there, Mark. You go ahead and read that and then explain to us what this really means.
Sure. Scientists find that dolphins, the only other mammal that jet ski for fun, for pleasure.
That is quite
So,
the picture.
Apparently, dolphins love to jet
Yeah.
ski.
So now let me break this down
For
for you.
pleasure.
This is for real.
And there was no editing on that photo.
A study was published by zoologists from Mount Holyoke College.
Very reputable
Says that
institution.
dolphins are the only other mammal to jet ski for pleasure. Now, how do they know this? Well, when they have dolphins, in their care for years of
Well, they have a
observation-
picture of it.
Yes. When they have dolphins in their care for years of observation, okay, they feel confident that as people go up to them with the jet skis, that the dolphins often like to jump up and try to land on the jet ski. So therefore, they're sort of making the leap to they think the jet skis are fun. So I think it's a little bit crazy.
Yes.
A little?
Just a little bit, but this is a real study. Thank you, scholars from Mount Holyoke College.
Before we move on, can I just say,
Yes.
welcome back, April. April's back in the mix.
Oh, hey, April.
We miss you,
April.
April.
Where is April? I don't even see her.
Thanks for being back,
she's right
April.
there. Missed you guys. Love
Oh,
Canada.
there she is.
Our
Yes. Thank you,
Canadian
April.
queen.
Thanks for being
Hey.
back. Our
Thanks for
Canadian
coming back.
queen. We love it. Absolutely. All right. Steve's headline.
What is it with animals? I picked an animal today, too.
Okay.
In-flight meal horror as severed snakehead found in plain dish.
That would be
Have
scary.
you ever been on an airplane and
Had a severed
I mean,
snakehead.
You don't really get meals anymore on planes. But back in the day when maybe they would serve you a meal, you're going a little far. This was actually from Turkey to Mumbai, so
well, that's probably a regular dish.
Well, I was thinking the same thing, but I guess snakeheads are not.
Is that like a snakehead curry?
It was not. And of course, they interviewed. I guess they farm out everything just like they do, and they interviewed the people who make the meals, and they said there's no way there could have been a snakehead in the meal. Somebody must have added it, and then took a picture, and then it went viral. So it probably was a real snakehead, but it probably
might have been a plant
delivered to them.
All I know is that airline food can be exciting at times. At times. All right, now this is one where I once again I saw this headline, and it was just the headline, and I don't think there really needs to be a story behind it.
Okay.
And I couldn't find the story. It's a little bit older, like a couple years old, not like really old.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think you guys will understand. The Ohio butthole tickling bandit has escaped custody and is being hunted by the police.
That looks like fake news.
Look at those eyes.
Look at that. Now,
hey, wait, is he the one doing the tickling or being tickled? He looks like he's being tickled.
First of all, to me, he looks like an alien.
He does.
Okay.
Yeah, with
number
the
one.
ears and the bald head.
So he's running around tickling people on the butt.
He is
I
the
think maybe he's the
Ohio.
one getting tickled right now. That looks like a tickled response.
This kind of ties in with our previous show because I'm watching a show called Devil in Ohio. So maybe there's some,
overlap.
Maybe there's some overlap here. The Ohio butthole tickling bandit has escaped custody and is being hunted by the police. And all I can say is, watch your ass. Watch your ass. And Donnie thinks he's a leprechaun. I don't know what he is, but those eyes. Right. Is that somebody? Maybe that guy is witnessing the actual butthole
perpetration.
Tickling. Yeah. I don't know. And like Chris says, like CD says, only in the Buckeye butthole state. Okay, there we go.
Coming from a Penn State fan, I would expect.
All right, and that was headlines that mean something. Here we go. Rounding down the top 7 at 7 on our next category. Top 7 favorite foods of all time. We have blasted through 7, 6, 5, and 4.
The top 3
this week.
Here
we are moving on to the top 3.
I think we're going to get some repeats in here. What do you think?
I don't know.
It's possible.
Are we going to get a snakehead in here?
No snakehead.
Definitely not.
I did not have a snakehead.
Although I do like snakehead curry, but whatever. All right, we're going to start with Mark. Mark's number 3, top 7 at 7 food of all time. His favorite food, number 3.
Mussels. Yes. Very good, especially from French places. If you've been to Paris 66 or Point Bruges.
Point Bruges have the best mussels in the city.
Excellent. What exactly was funny about mussels being good at French restaurants?
No, it was French places.
French places.
Especially when you go to French places.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't.
Paris 66.
I didn't get the humor that you're putting together there. But
would you guys like to take this
please continue.
But mussels are great. Mussels are great. I think you both like them.
I do.
Point Bruges mussels, the coconut curry, unbelievable. Best mussels in the city.
Mussels are good.
Mussels, number 3 for Mark. Number 3 for Steve. I don't know why this surprised me, but then it didn't surprise me.
No, this should not surprise you. Come on, macaroni and cheese.
I'm actually not a mac and cheese guy.
Well.
No, I've never been.
I used to like you, Mark. Now you're going to go down a notch.
I know.
Come on, macaroni and cheese. It's a pasta dish.
It is something that I do consider myself an oddity about.
Yeah,
most people do love mac and cheese.
Right. Like, I don't like sugary things. You don't like mac and cheese.
And I wonder what is wrong with me.
Yeah.
To tell people I don't like mac and cheese.
I like every kind of, I know this goes against what we said. You have to do a very specific one, but mac and cheese can be in all shapes, sizes, and form, and I love it all. Yeah. You can put stuff in it or leave it by itself. I don't care.
Lobster mac and cheese, people
like. Exactly. Yeah. Like whatever. Mm-hmm. I just think macaroni and cheese is the United States of America's invention to the world.
gift to the world. Invention.
Well, I mean, we had to create it, so it's
Yeah.
an invention.
Okay. All right. Number 3 for Steve, mac and cheese. I was starting to get a little complicated there with the whole invention.
Oh,
thing.
sorry.
All right. Number 3 for me is going to raise some eyebrows. I'm telling you right now. I can't wait. I'm just going to throw it up there. Number 3, top. Well, let's get this comment in real quick. As long as it's not out of a box.
Well, April, see,
yeah, you're going
I
to get
like
a
it out of the
disagreement
box.
there. Yeah,
I like
absolutely.
the creamy stuff, the Velveeta stuff, the regular mac and cheese, the
Yeah.
Kraft stuff. Even if it's powdered cheese, I don't care.
I actually
love it all.
I actually like, I mean, because it's not my thing, but I actually like it sometimes better out of the box than a fancy kind.
That's because it's got butter in it. And butter makes everything better.
There you go.
It has the juice. All right. Number 3, top 7 foods of all time for Chris. There it is, baby.
What?
Is that a bologna sandwich?
The ham sandwich.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I knew it.
I love it.
I knew it.
I love it. That is awesome.
like
So, what do you put on your ham?
Well, see, I like when I go to American places and, and they make that nice ham sandwich. No, the reason it
just
ended
like
up
that with the cheese.
That
and
to
lettuce
me,
and
like
mayonnaise.
I feel like if I were to eat that right on the screen, it'd be like putting a piece of trash in my mouth.
well, and please expand on that comment, Schwab.
I can't.
I know you can't.
You'll tell us what you love about
You already
this
have.
garbage food.
It's a sandwich.
It's a sandwich. It's a sandwich. I love ham sandwiches with mayonnaise, just the bread, the mayo, and the ham. And the reason I put it up there, it actually wasn't on my list.
Mm.
But then you
And
thought,
then I kind of, as we started going through the weeks and revealing our
Mhm.
foods, I would review my list, and it was just nagging me. Like and I was getting hungry, and I was like, you want to know what? I'm going to go upstairs and make a ham sandwich. Wait a minute.
why is that not on my
Mm.
list?
I can eat like 4 ham sandwiches in a row. I love ham sandwiches. It's number 3.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care what you
What?
think.
At least tell me you use boar's head ham.
I use whatever
I'm
ham
sure you
is in
don't.
the
You
bag
just use
that's in the
some kind of
fridge.
crap.
Generic. It's like
crappy
whatever.
ham.
No,
on
you know
sale.
what I use the most? Ham off the bone.
Oh, ham off the
Ham
bone.
off the bone.
Oh, ham off the bone.
Ham off the
Didn't
bone,
know it
baby.
existed
Ham
until a
off
year
the
ago.
bone. All right, number 2. Wait, we got a couple comments. I knew this would
People
bring
love
comments.
ham sandwiches.
CD says only when you make a ham, then for a leftover sandwich. Yeah,
that's
love
really
those
good.
too.
Yep.
DG, nothing like I'm not putting these up. There's CDs. DG, nothing like a good honey baked ham and cheese sandwich, lettuce, tomato, mayo. Thank you,
Ooh,
DG.
that's a special.
Amy May says, what about a jumbo sandwich? That's kind of the same
Jumbo.
thing.
What's
It's
that?
bologna.
That's what they call bologna. in
Bologna.
Pittsburgh. Jumbo, yeah.
Oh,
Jumbo.
I'm not a bologna fan.
I like bologna.
At least a food
sandwiches,
bologna
but
fan. I'm a
not
fan of
my
a lot
top
of other
10.
bologna, but and Yo Carrie honey baked ham sandwich. See, Schwaber, what's your problem?
I'm just not a ham guy.
Yeah, and you're
Ah.
obviously not a mac and cheese guy either. All right.
What? Are you American?
Yeah.
I'm
Are you
French.
Are you even real?
I'm
You
French.
go to French
I'm
places.
French and I
That's
go
right.
to French places.
All right, number 2 for Schwab on his list. This is kind of funny. We got a trifecta going for Schwaber here. You'll understand
Yeah.
once you see this.
Number 2.
One more comment. Is that sandwich? Laugh out loud. Of course it is. Number
It's a
2
sandwich.
for Schwab is. Oh yeah.
The crab cakes.
Crab cakes.
And this actually is a presentation of the crab cakes at the Monterey Bay Fish Grotto, who I love their crabs. Now, one thing I want to say about crab cakes, and my mom had said this all the time, and it really is true. You can't have a lot of filler. The more
That's absolutely
the
right.
more
Yeah.
crab, the better.
the cake.
The better the cake.
Completely agree with that.
And that's a
Steve.
favorite of mine. I get them everywhere.
There you go. Number 2 for Mark. Crab cakes. Number 2 for Steve.
What was my number 2?
I'm going
I
to put it up
forgot.
there. You'll see it. You'll see it.
I think I know what it is. Of course.
The
It's
wings.
The wings. But not so I like wingdings. Yeah, I know people like the big
I do
wings.
too. I like the smaller ones.
I like the wing broken
Yeah.
apart. I
Yeah.
want to eat the drum or the wing. I don't care. I like them both. The best wings in the city. D's 6-pack.
Oh,
Yes, in Regent Square, they
Ooh.
make this D's dust. Incredible.
oh,
It's
okay.
incredible. And by the way, I don't care if it's ranch or blue cheese. I do prefer blue cheese, but if it's ranch, I'm good with that too.
I go ranch.
Yeah.
Really have to say the best setting for celery as well.
Oh yeah, well I
You
love
know.
celery.
Celery.
I
on
love
its
the
own,
way the wings complement the celery.
They do that.
That's really
That's like when you're
Yeah.
going to have your best celery moments.
that is true.
Some people serve it with carrots. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
I don't get
I
that
don't know.
Why
either.
carrots?
Yeah.
It's celery.
Because they ran out
Yeah.
of celery. That's why.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
that's just
All right. Number 2 for Steve is wings.
wings.
Now, this is really interesting. This shows you the sophistication of this show. Number 2 for Chris is wings.
Of course.
Oh.
You knew it was
Now
going to be
you
on
used
my
to
list,
make them
man.
all the time.
Yeah,
Why did you
and
stop?
they were good.
And why
They were
did you
good.
stop?
I don't know. I believe that perhaps this year I will whip that recipe out again.
Yes.
All right, there you go.
And I will say, to me, the best wings in the city in Pittsburgh are actually in a place, Monroeville. It's called the Rose Cliff. And
Mm.
So
it's
I've
the
never
full
been.
wings,
Mm.
best wings. But
Ooh, full wings.
the
I don't
best
know.
wings I've ever had are the wings that I make. And I fry them, and I have a secret sauce. No comments from the
Now,
peanut
call me
gallery,
crazy,
please.
but I'm like I still like the old Quaker steak oil and lube.
They're horrible. Those wings are
I like
horrible.
them. I like
You
them.
can get them
Yeah.
at PNC
Yeah,
Park.
I
If
like
you want to
them.
pay
Yeah.
nutting another $10
Yeah.
for every wing you eat.
Yeah, I
Mike
like
Lawrence
them.
says, wings grilled or fried? Fried all the way. Fried all the
I
way.
like
I guess
them
I could
baked.
eat. I
I
guess I,
like
could
them
have them
baked.
anyway.
Yeah, but
Baked.
fried,
yeah, fried's the
crunchy.
way to go.
No
Yeah.
batter on them, just fried.
Oh yeah, no
Yeah,
batter.
crispy
You
skin.
don't put batter on wings. Who does
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Mm-mm.
And Donnie says the trolley stop and library. I've actually heard of the trolley stop. So,
Mm.
all right,
Trolley
moving
stop.
on. Number
Okay.
1 for Schwab.
Thanks
This
for
is
that,
the
Donnie.
this is the trifecta you'll see. Number 1 on the top 7 at 7. Schwab's number 1 food of all
What you
time.
got, Mark?
We got a
Stay
theme
in-
going here.
Stay in seafood, lobster.
Stay in
Lobster.
shellfish. Stay in
And
shellfish.
the key is it must be had with drawn butter.
Not just melted butter.
Drawn. butter.
Okay. Explain
is-
drawn butter.
That is
to
the
us.
term.
What?
Do you
I
get that at French places?
I get that at French places and non-French places and seafood places. No, I love lobster. You know, it's expensive, so you don't get it all the time. So it's kind of like a special treat, a couple times, maybe once, twice a year. I enjoy it.
See, my favorite foods aren't ones that I just like eat every now and then. My
I see
favorite foods are just utilitarian, as
I
you
see
can
that. Yeah,
clearly see.
I see that.
And we have a comment here. Conch fritters.
Conch fritters.
Conch
Mm.
fritters. April Watkinson says she's watching from her hospital bed and you're killing me. Well,
Oh,
whatever
well,
you're there for, April, prayers,
You okay,
please
April?
get better. And
Feel better, April.
but thanks for watching. I mean, she's taking the time.
Yeah.
She's under duress.
But
She's,
we're killing her.
Yeah,
That can't be
yeah,
good.
yeah. Maybe you should
Get a
call a
doctor
doctor.
quick.
With
Yes.
laughter. With
Get the
laughter.
doctor. All right, Mark's number 1 was lobster for Steve.
This
Number
is
1.
no surprise. Come on. It's pizza. But that pizza right there is not just any pizza. That is the Village Pizza in Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania, which is my hometown.
Hmm.
It is the best pizza. It beats Minio's, Aiello's, all the Pittsburgh places. Yes, even Vincent's. The Village Pizza in Mount Pleasant. It is the number 1 food for me. If I were going to be dead and I was getting hooked up the electric
Yep.
chair, I would say,
This is Mark's theme right
Yeah.
here. This is what
I
he
want
does. Yeah.
a Village Pizza.
Man.
And I better not be killed on a Sunday or a Monday because they're closed. They're just going to have to postpone it because
Maybe we
they're
get
just
a
not open.
maybe we get a special exception. Bring them in.
Village Pizza for Steve. Now, I feel like the best pizza in the city is once again at the Rose Cliff. Yeah, I'll have to get you guys. It's
Wait,
I've never even heard of the
you-
Rose Cliff.
You've ordered pizza in from the Rose.
Yes,
Cliff,
I have.
haven't you?
Yes, I
It's
have.
very
Yes, I
good
have.
pizza, but
Yeah.
it's not Village Pizza.
I've driven by Village Pizza, but I've never been in there. Okay, number 1 for me is a dish. I eat more of this than anything else. And I actually had this at my mother's house for our Labor Day dinner this morning. It is the big old ribeye, baby.
Yeah,
The steak.
The big old
steak.
ribeye.
Steak.
Yep. Ribeye.
So you like ribeye means you like the fat.
And you know
Bring
what
on
I
the-
like about steak
Bring on
is
the
I
grease.
like
it when it's bleeding.
that's right, Pittsburgh rare, baby. You know what
That
Pittsburgh rare is,
is
Schwab?
way too done for Chris.
It means like you're
Yeah.
eating the animal before they even get them in the truck.
That's right. That's right. I'm killing it and eating it. That's exactly what I'm doing. Give me a ribeye, nothing better.
Interesting.
Nothing better.
Well,
So-
that also explains why you like cheesesteaks. They're mostly done with ribeye.
there you go. There you go. So, yes, Village Pizza rules, says April. We got a bunch of comments on all the food here. It's coming
I
in.
don't know about Yo Carrie with the pineapple on the pizza.
It's coming in from
that's-
all over the
that's-
place.
Come on,
That's
yo.
a disgrace, yo, Carrie.
Kevin says dozen oysters on the half shell.
that
Chris
was
gives a
Chris
shout
earlier.
out. CD gives a shout out to the Village. Yo, Carrie, right? Pineapple on pizza. Hate that.
Pineapple on pizza. Come on,
I'm just going to
Carrie.
flat out tell you
Yo,
I hate
Carrie.
that.
No.
I hate that. All right. That wraps it up. Next week we'll see if we have another list, unless we have too much NFL stuff to
We
talk
might have
about.
a lot of NFL things.
We're not doing
Hey,
what
if
we're
you got a
watching.
suggestion for
No.
you got a suggestion for a list for us, put it in the comments,
Yep.
or hit that record button on Sports.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And as a reminder, thank you for listening to us on American Busker iHeartRadio, 150 million subscribers, over 2,000 devices, 150 platforms. And check down at the bottom of the screen, theporcheslive.com. That's our website. You can catch up on all our podcasts that are on iHeart, as well as Spotify and anywhere else you get your podcasts. And there's actually a little black button now. I changed it. It says "Say Something" on the right side of the screen. You can
There
leave us
you
a
go. You
voicemail.
listen, and I love it.
Now
you
they can
listen,
read it.
You listen to your people.
It's a democracy.
That's somebody that can lead.
We've agreed that this is a democracy.
He's a
Absolutely.
servant leader.
A couple more comments here before we move on to what we're watching. Donnie Morse says Blaine Hill Barbecue. April has fat-free yogurt there. Let's trade. No.
You
And
can have
Yo
your
Carrie
fat
apparently
free.
likes baked spaghetti. So
Well, we would expect that. From
yeah. We would
With
expect that.
sassafras, I'm sure.
All right, moving on. This is called What We're Watching. It is what we are currently watching and streaming on TV. Sometimes there are repeats because those of us who are selfish watchers have decided that we're no longer going to be selfish watchers. And we're just going to jump right into it right now. Schwaber, your show is
Hard Knocks, the Detroit Lions.
It's over, right?
Well, it's not over because next week is the last episode.
So it's
it'll be on,
almost-
like Wednesday.
almost
Yeah, it's almost
over, yeah.
over. Yeah, and actually, that's usually the best episode because that's the cut down day.
Yeah,
episode.
so they just filmed it.
Right. Exactly. So
I guess that's the whole point.
really interesting. I mean, I actually really enjoy watching these because you kind of get to see some things that you just don't know if you don't watch it. Like you get to see like some guys on the team who like are extremely intelligent. You get to see some guys, some of the coaches and kind of how they motivate people and, do they know their X's and O's or don't they? Does the team really respond to them or not? That's kind of where, for example, like I can't put any faith into the Cowboys because their coach, after watching him on Hard Knocks, it's like, it's just not going to happen. Look, there's no Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry.
Right.
But Detroit was very interesting because, of course, you got their head coach is a guy who, came out sounding crazy with the we're going to, eat your kneecaps or whatever he said, and I found that I thought he seemed like a really good coach. Like he really knows his stuff and he's a good motivator. And he actually reminded me a lot of Bill Cowher. And so I'll tell you what, I mean, I liked him. I mean, I'm actually a little concerned about the Eagles' first game against Detroit. I think that they might surprise some people this year. And I mean, I don't think they're going to be 500 or anything, but it wouldn't surprise me if they kind of like take a step and maybe go like 7-10. And then maybe the next year they might have a shot at something.
Hard Knocks on HBO. That's what Mark's watching. Moving on to what Steve is watching. This is a show that I highly recommend.
For All Mankind. Yeah, Chris suggested this. Actually, a couple guys at work were watching it too. And so, I'm in between shows. I'm like, I'm usually a Netflix guy, but Apple TV, boom, click it on. I love it. It's great.
Apple TV has great shows.
Yeah.
They really do. They have great shows.
Everything I've seen so far I've liked.
I love the fact that it's historical, but yet it's not historical because as they move forward with it, there are all kinds of twists and turns and different political leaders. Actually, same political leaders, just in different positions sometimes.
Yeah.
And I love the way they make the space race continue. I think that's just fascinating.
Yeah.
And being an engineer, who doesn't love NASA?
There you go.
So excellent show.
For All Mankind.
Excellent.
From Steve. Here's one that I just started watching. A lot of fanfare around this. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power on Amazon, an Amazon original. Let me tell you something. When
they spent $1 billion. Right?
I know people love to hate Amazon.
Is Frodo in it?
And they hate to love Amazon. No. But I was telling Steve this yesterday, I think. When a company that makes as much money as Amazon makes actually takes $750 million to create a series for your entertainment, it better be good. But I think they're putting their money to good use, and they did. This is incredible. It's incredible.
But there's only one episode that comes out like every Friday.
Right.
Yeah, they put the first 2 up and they watch them. But it's pre-Lord of the Rings, pre-Hobbit. If you're a huge junkie of anything J.R.R. Tolkien, which I was when I was younger, now I just like enjoy the movies and stuff. I don't remember all the names. But it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Cannot recommend it enough if you're of that kind of, if you like those kind of shows.
You're a binge watcher. Is this a problem for you?
No, because the Apple TV, they put them out once a week. I'm able to wait.
Yeah.
I'm able to wait. It's just if the whole season's there, then I will binge it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yep. So Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power on Amazon. That is it. And with that, guys, I think this show is in the books.
NFL Week 1 coming up.
Week 1 coming up.
It's Eve.
And I want to thank you for listening to us on American Busker iHeartRadio. And also I want to thank Nancy Hahn.
Thank you, Nancy,
for getting us on there. Really appreciate it. You can catch our podcast on iHeart. This comes out as a podcast either tonight or tomorrow. Go to theporcheslive.com. And I'm queuing up the music they made for us because we love it so much.
We love it. We can dance to it.
And we will see you guys next week, guys. Stay real.
All right.